she lukewarm, gotta pick a side. Who am I? Through Jesus' sake.
Because you said what kind of religion you grew up in?
I was baptized.
You was baptized?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were using the Baptist religion, or what was it called? Like, it's Christian. So when you was, so you said, are you still do you still go to church?
I'm more spiritual.
You more spiritual? Come on. What's your name again?
Mike.
Mike, and brother, what's your name?
Alex.
Alex. So he said he's more spiritual. What about you? You believe in the Bible? You believe in God?
I'm not religious, no.
You said no?
No.
You're not very religious? You believe in God though?
No.
Okay, you don't believe in God? Or what do you believe in?
I believe that there's something, but I'm more spiritual based. I like to know.
Okay, so you say both of y'all, so you say you're more spiritual based. So now, what does that entail though? What does it mean to be a spiritual person?
Myself, I'm just more in tune. I feel like the universe has more control over who you got, you know? Mm-hmm. So.
And when you speak about the universe, are you contributing that to God? Are you saying the higher power, or what?
They go hand in hand.
Okay.
Like the sun, the constellations. I feel like it all interprets each other.
Jeremiah 31.
Okay. So now, I'm gonna show you something. Now
that's just me though.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you that the Bible is a true book, because a lot of our people don't realize that our history is right here in the scriptures. Now, let me ask you a question. Where you say your nationality is?
I'm Filipino and black.
Okay, what's your father?
My dad's half and half.
Half and half what?
Filipino and half black.
Okay, well I'm
My mom's black and like she's like black some other shit.
Okay, I'm gonna lean us towards the side of probably black, right? So
yeah.
that's what a lot of our people are, right? So now what about you? What do you say? Mexican. So now those two terms, when will we call black and when will we call Mexican? Where did those two terms originate?
I think it was the Spaniards.
Okay, the Spaniards, right?
Yeah, I think the Spaniards.
Okay, what about black? Where did black come from? When will our people start calling it black?
It gets real in depth.
Well, think about it, because that's the color, right?
I'd rather be African than African American.
Okay, you say African. That's a whole.
You know how they say African American?
Yeah, I'm with you.
We call that or we call black.
But those things, black is just a color. Africa is a whole continent. There's many countries in there. The people over in Africa do not refer to themselves as African.
Right.
They have countries that they come from, and they have tribes, and they tell you where they're from. But our people are the ones who do not know. Give me that real quick in Isaiah real quick. I'm gonna show you something, because the Bible is talking about you, but we don't realize it. We think that it's a fairy tale book, that a man wrote this and he didn't have no power. But God gave the word for this right here. Read that real quick.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3.
Bring it up.
The ox knoweth his owner.
So now God is comparing our people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, to an ox. An ox is a cow, right? It says an ox knows who its owner is, right? When a cow on a farm, it distinguishes who it belongs to. It understands that, who feeds it. Read.
And the ass his master's crib.
And an ass is a donkey. If you take a donkey away from his home, it can find its way back. It'll find its way back to the farm every time, because it understands where it came from. Read.
But Israel,
but the true people of God, the Israelites, read,
doth not know. My people doth not consider.
God says that the Israelites of the Bible will be walking on the earth today and not know who they are.
Right.
They wouldn't know where they come from.
Right.
They would call themselves black,
right.
color. They would call themselves Mexican, a term that another nation put on them.
Right.
The Spaniards came over here and said, I'm gonna let you call yourself a Mexican.
Right.
Even though you weren't called that before they came.
Right.
Even though we didn't speak their language before they came. What language we spoke before the Spaniards came?
Here?
Yeah, what language did we speak?
Spanish.
No, before the Spaniards. The Spanish came from Spain.
Right.
Before they came, what did we speak?
It's the Aztec language, but I don't know what they speak.
What is that?
That's a hard one.
We, people, do not know. What's the language of black?
I don't know.
What language we speak before we spoke English? Have no clue. Our people do not know. Now ask a Chinese man what his nationality is. I come from China. What's your language? Oh, it's Mandarin.
I know where my grandpa met my grandmother. That's what makes my dad feel good.
But we don't know who we are. You just told me I'm a black. I would prefer to be called African rather than African. So that means that we don't really know. There's a confusion
My
there.
last name, I've done my research on my last name. My grandfather, his grandparents, they came from like Pennsylvania.
You know what? You know where our
Last name I do have.
You know where our last names come from?
That's not.
It came from slavery, brother.
Oh, Hamilton.
That's the slave master's
I know
name.
that much.
Our people, you know why so
know
many
that
black people got the last name Jackson? Because it was a big plantation called Jackson.
Bring it up.
That's why our people got those names. You know why so many Rodriguez's in the Spanish community? Because there was a big slave master whose name was Rodriguez, and he had a whole bunch of slaves.
Right.
That's why our people got those names. That's not what God called us. That's not who we were originally.
Bring it up.
God took our heritage away from us. Give me that real quick in Jeremiah 17. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4.
Bring it up.
And thou, even thyself,
He says, thou, you Israelites, read.
shall discontinue from thine heritage.
He said we would discontinue from our heritage. What does it mean when something is discontinued? If your favorite pair of, your favorite snack was discontinued, what does that mean? It stopped. It ended.
Right.
So when God discontinued from our heritage, He made our heritage now end. We don't know it no more.
Right.
We consider like maybe I would prefer to be African rather than African American. Well, I know I'm Mexican. I don't really know what we spoke before they came. It was some Aztecian language, which Aztec was a term again that the Spaniards called us. That's not even the original name.
Right.
So we are lost as a people. God prophesied that what happened to us. Finish. Is that it on it?
No.
Read.
Yeah, and thou in thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee.
Because God gave us our heritage. Read.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
And when our heritage was stripped from us, God caused us to serve our enemies. Now let me ask you a question. Would a friend do this to you? Would a friend put you on cargo slave ships? Would a friend chain you up and make you serve for free for hundreds of years, hard bondage? Well, what kind of person would do that? An enemy.
Right.
So He would make us serve our enemies.
Right.
Those are the people that we serve in this land today. Think about it. Who did this land used to belong to?
Mexico, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah, take Mexico.
It did not, but now who does it belong to right now?
U.S.
Okay, now, and how did they get it? Did they vote for it?
No.
Did they pay for it? Did they barter for it?
Paid for it, yes, but
Because what? Because they made war, they killed the people, destroyed them, and then they took the land and then gave them pennies for it, just so they could have some sort of justification. But they stole this land, really. That's what they did. They came over and destroyed our people and caused us to serve them in this land. That's why we get paid pennies on the dollar. That's why the so-called Mexicans are out in the strawberry fields, in the orange fields, picking, planting, doing all the hard work and getting paid little amounts of money, barely able to survive. But yet they call this the land of the free, the home of the brave. Yet they are the ones who kill and rob and destroy. Who's free here? Not us.
Right.
They're the ones who free when they speak about that freedom.
Yep.
We are meant to be the slaves to build up this nation.
Right.
And that's what we did. And that's what we continue to do.
Right.
But they still kill us down in the street. How many, every year, is there not a black man killed who's innocent, who was unjustly murdered? Every year, a black woman, Hispanic man murdered unjustly. Does that happen? It's been regular.
Right.
We just didn't have social media like that.
Bring it out.
It's getting more prevalent. It's been around. It just hasn't been documented as much.
Right.
So it's been going on. Now, jump back to Deuteronomy 20:15. Now why did God put this on us? Why did we lose our heritage? Why did we forget who we are? Why do you think God did that to us? Huh? We finna find out right now. We finna understand why God did this, because there's a reason why we lost everything. To why now we are servants in our own land.
Bring it out.
Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Now this is what Moses said this to the Israelites after we came out of Egypt. Any of y'all know the history of Moses in Egypt? Let my people go? Huh?
Not too much.
Not too much. You know anything about it?
Bare minimum.
Okay. You ever seen that? What's that movie that they made?
Ten Commandments.
Not a cartoon one. Oh, Prince of Egypt? I never seen it. Y'all ain't ever seen Disney? Is that Disney? Whatever. my point being, well, this is after we came out of the wilderness, out of Egypt, and Moses gave us a stipulation. He says, God has freed you from slavery, but now that he's freed you, you have a choice to make. Read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Read up.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
He says, you Israelites, you blacks and Hispanics, it's going to happen in the future, because this is written a long time ago. He says it's going to happen in the future if we don't listen to God, which is his voices right here in this Bible. Read.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
He says if we did not observe to do all of God's commandments. Do y'all know any of God's commandments? Okay, now you mixing things in there, like gambling, that's not, you won't never read that, right? But now you said sin, right? Sin is when you break the commandments.
Right.
So, but what are the commandments?
Thou shalt not murder.
Okay, thou shalt not kill, that's right, that's a commandment. But do our people kill? Do we?
What people?
Huh?
Our people.
Yeah, do our people kill?
Me.
Do our people kill?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit's happening that shouldn't be happening.
You ain't never heard of Chirac?
You know what's crazy? I think we're living in the Revelations.
There's prophecies being fulfilled, yeah, okay.
Real soon.
I'm kind of with you, but now you gotta, I'm asking, but I'm telling our people break God's commandments. We kill one another.
Every day.
There's a commandment that says thou shalt not steal. Do we steal from one another?
Yep.
And usually we do it to our own people, right?
Right.
You don't see the gangs rolling around. Hey, what rap song you done heard to that said, I'ma kill me a cracker? Or do they say, I'ma kill me a nigga? Which one they say? Which one do they say?
I couldn't tell you, man.
Nah, you know, what rappers you listen to?
I couldn't tell you.
Give me one rapper you listen to.
I'm more of like a Al Green type of guy.
You ain't never listen to no rappers, bro. Come on, man. What
Yeah,
rapper you
but
listen to?
That's what I choose not to listen to.
Okay, I'm good. Oh, if you don't listen to it, then all praise.
You know, I'm aware, but like, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Okay, you don't know no names of no rappers you ever heard?
That's telling you to smoke the other dude, like shoot niggas.
You don't know. What? Give me another. Give me some rappers. Drake. What you got? You got no rappers?
I don't listen to rap music. I do
Okay.
mostly lo-fi.
Ain't nobody. Okay, there ain't nobody ever listen to no rap song, guy. Okay.
All those are Kendrick songs.
Kendrick, he said he be doing the same stuff. He was talk about banging women, drugs or whatever. He talk about the exact same stuff.
Right.
Sometimes he frame it a little bit differently, but yet he still talk about the same thing that they promote our people to do.
Right.
Sell drugs, kill one another. They talk about doing it to our own people. They push sin and evil upon us.
Right.
And because we've been allowing ourselves to fall into that evil, read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
If we did not keep God's commandments, God said we will be cursed as a nation of people.
Right.
Read.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
How is the black and Hispanic man cursed in the city? Well, what kind of areas do our people live in? What do they call our places we live? Majority.
I don't know that.
What do they call our neighborhoods? The majority of where our people live at. They call it the hoods. Don't they call it the barrios? Don't they call it the ghettos, the slums? That's where they say our people at, right? That's where our people. If you look at the worst areas in any city in the world, you'll find our people there. It don't matter if you here in San Diego, you got Southeast. Don't matter if you over in Atlanta. Don't matter if you in Chicago. Our people are the ones living in the worst areas.
Right.
That's why they got names and titles for our neighborhoods. That's why there's something called black on black crime, Hispanic on Hispanic crime. They put titles on it because we do it so much to each other. Those are the curses that we have in our cities.
I got the definition of ghetto.
Read that. This is the definition of ghetto. Read.
Ghetto, a quarter of a city in which Jews were formerly required to live.
You see that? That's why they call our neighborhoods ghettos. Because we think we look at that term, we don't really know the origin of it. They call it that because they know that they put the Jews there.
Right.
The so-called black and Hispanic man, we are the Jews.
Right.
We are the true people of God, not those people over there in Israel today who stole our land.
Right.
They did the same thing they did here to America. They stole our land over there, they stole our land over here. But we are the people of the book.
Right.
Give me verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
When was our sons and daughters taken away from us and given to another race of people? What do they call that? Well, the Bible says that our sons and daughters will be taken away from us and given to another race of people. When did that happen to us? Okay, well, what was it called though? Slavery.
Right.
Look at this. This is what happened to our people. Read that part again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Did that not happen? Was our sons and daughters not stripped from us and given to another race of people?
Right.
Let them know. Did that happen, brother? It did. Now the Bible tells us that was going to happen long before it even happened.
Right.
God gave us a prophecy. He says, I'm gonna have another race of people come against you if you do not abide by my commandments.
Right.
And they're gonna take your sons and daughters. Read. Keep reading.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand.
And you see that he said we would have no might in our hand, no power. Think about it. You got kids, brother? Okay, I'll pray. So now, when we look at it, even today, if the government says, you know what, I don't feel like you're a fit parent, CPS, they can come in and just take the child away. Then can you do anything about that? Not really, because you can try to fight it, right? But you won't be able to stop them from taking that kid. Right, nothing, because you have no power here in this land. Hold on, before you go, brother, I want to make sure I finish this out. But let me finish the scripture. I want to give you a commandment real quick, because what we got to learn is that when we broke God's commandments, these curses came upon us for a reason. Now, the only way for us to get out of these curses is by doing what? If God put us in the curses because we broke the commandments, what do we got to do? We got to abide by them.
Right.
Can you recognize that these what we read in the Bible has happened? You recognize this is real deal. This is what has happened to our people. But when we don't want to come to the realization that God did this to us. That's why when you say you spiritual, and both of y'all say y'all spiritual, I'm asking, what do you mean by that? Because God gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. He told us how to better ourselves. And then we ain't got to sit here and figure it out and hope that a magic beam is going to hit us in our head and give us some understanding. Give me the definition of what spiritual is real quick.
Got it.
This is what it means to truly be a spiritual man.
Romans chapter 7 and verse 14.
Right out.
For we know that the law is spiritual.
God says that his laws, they're the thing that's spiritual.
Right.
Read.
But I am carnal, sold under sin.
Meaning, whenever you leave the laws of God, the commandments, you're not spiritual anymore.
Bring it out.
It's a carnal man making up your own doctrine, your own belief. You now make yourself your own God.
Right.
Because instead of abiding by what God says, you say, I'm going to do whatever I think is right. And if you're doing whatever you think is right, then who's your God? You. You make yourself the God now. You don't truly believe in a higher power. You only believe in yourself now. But we have to come back to what God says. He says, keep my commandments.
Bring it out.
That's what we have to do. So if we saying that, oh, you know what? I wanna be something greater, better my people. We have to first learn God's commandments. Let me ask you a question. You say you don't have children, right? But y'all got girlfriends. Okay, now what does God say about having girlfriends, boyfriends?
I have to go. I'm so sorry.
Okay, I'm just asking real quick. What do you think about it? You got a girlfriend?
Nah.
Okay, you ever dealt with a woman before?
Brother Joshua right here.
How you doing, Brother Joshua? So now, what does God say about that? What is it? Is it okay to deal with a woman before marriage?
What is the definition of that?
It's to have sex with a woman.
We're not doing that. That's not, we're waiting to marry. We're waiting till we're older.
That's I'm reading. That's good. That's out of the Bible.
He kissing and hugging.
Well, yeah. Are you kissing and
You
hugging?
gotta follow the chick who married.
Hey, I won't do what the fuck that is, man. I'm doing my boundaries to her.
Like you say, are you? I'm asking.
We're hugging, but like nothing crazy.
Oh, but that's leading to something. I'm gonna show you that. Read this.
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge.
Now listen to what he said. He says marriage is honorable. That means when you get married to a sister, and then you lay down with her, the bed will be undefiled. Meaning it's okay for you to have sex with your wife, but not a girlfriend, not a jump off, not a one night stand, got a side piece, none of that. God never put that in practice. But when we do acts like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna go out on a date and be alone together. I'm gonna hug and I'm gonna kiss on her. But that right there, that's a sexual act. God said you're not supposed to do that.
Bring it out.
Because when you get along with that sister, get along with her, now what do you think's gonna happen? Eventually the light's gonna get turned off and you're gonna be under the sheets. God says, don't do that. You're not supposed to be sitting alone with a woman that you're not married to.
Right.
Yeah. What is your girlfriend? She's Hispanic? She Puerto Rican? Okay, all praise. She's one of the tribes of Israel. But you have to wait till marriage before y'all start dealing with each other like that.
Right.
What about you, bro? You say you deal with sisters, right?
Go ahead. Sorry.
You say yeah? But now, what did God say? All right, brother, make sure you read over the flyer. But what did God say? What we just read? Hold on, stay with me right here, brother. You gotta learn too. Huh? You're in a rush. Hey, our people are always rushing to something, but we don't have time for God. That's an issue because we're in so big of a hurry to go nowhere.
Right.
Versus what God says. What is learning about the scriptures gonna damage your life? It's not. It only can better us. That's what our people lack. That's why there's so many single parent households in our community, because we don't know this one law. Because our young men aren't taught, hey, you know what? Marry that sister before you lay down with her. What if our young brothers taught? I can tell you what I was taught. It was saying, hey, go out and sow your royal oats. You know what I'm saying? Go get them as much as you can. You're not a real man until you lay down with a couple sisters.
Right.
That's what I heard growing up. I don't know. Maybe you didn't hear that.
They're telling me to have kids now.
Huh?
The older homies say, hey, why don't you have them, man?
Damn.
Like, you don't got no kids yet? You almost 30.
Now let me ask you a question.
You know,
The homies that telling you that, are they married?
They're older, yeah. Older homies.
Okay, so they married? And they're telling.
Most of them.
Okay, and they're telling you to have. Do they have children with a woman they're not married to? Do they have multiple baby? They have both baby
It's
mamas.
probably even.
Say about even.
Most of the friends that got kids, they're married, and then half of them, like, you know.
Okay, now the issue with that is because now that they're trying to push you to do something when really it's against God, because they're telling you, hey, go have kids. What is that supposed to imply? Why don't they tell you, hey, go get married?
Yeah, that's what I'm on.
Why would they tell you, hey, go have kids? Because they're implying to you now, just go out and get with a woman and have sex with her.
Yeah.
That's not implying the covenant that God put in place. Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So when they giving you that information, you gotta be like, bro, that's talk against God. But because we don't know God's commandments, our people go off and do their own thing. They don't have the knowledge of what God says, so now we make up our own doctrine.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.